Okay, hold on a second. Let me look at something. Are you home?
Yeah, I'm indoors now. So, yeah, I've looked at that small video you sent me. What you're saying is that's all of the streams in one continuous video loop of them all together. But I'm trying to work out where, when he did that with you, when you first arrived the first time that you went there, and he got Aaron Russo to come on the film. Had you noticed any similarities with that particular, apparition in the sense of like what you're
Yeah.
saying he's doing in this one?
You
Is there
know, I
any?
have no idea, Johnny. I really don't know. One thing I don't want to do, and one thing I don't have, the time or space to do, is to start getting into those kinds of analysis, man. I can't get into it. I really
Okay.
don't.
Well,
I
look,
don't.
when you
Man.
first realised what you felt
16.
was going on,
I got 16 years, man.
yeah, but when you noticed what's going on, you're back in what, Bossenhof in your hotel, or you're in his living room? Where's this happened? Where you've noticed this scenario?
I was in my hotel.
And you've rang him or contacted him the next day? I mean, what did he say
No,
to you when you told him
no,
what you'd found?
I'm talking. I've not spoken with him. I don't plan to.
So you've just blanked him then? You haven't gone
Yep.
round there or anything?
Uh,
Okay, so you've just totally blanked him. Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah.
Right. But with your own instinct, and remember, before you came out, you was telling me that, look, I don't know how I'm doing it or why I'm doing it, but I know I've got to get out there and do this. What's happened to your higher self sense that's telling you to get out and get away from it? Is it, because you
No,
really did have that, didn't you?
no. I gotta say, Johnny. I mean, I don't mean to be cruel. Listen, I care about Robert. Oh, hold on. Sorry. Hold on. I'm messing with my computer. I'm tired. We are on Skype, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. I don't have. Say this. It really is a business enterprise for me. Okay, and I care about him. Okay, 16 years
Yeah.
of this. Okay. Um. Hold on. I'm trying to text with Stan right now at the same time. Get some money stuff straight. Uh, let's talk for a little bit, and then I'll get back to the Stan thing. Um, okay, so the bottom line, man, is I'm absolutely certain. There's absolutely no doubt whatsoever that he was faking those pictures 2 nights ago. Okay, number one. Okay, for me, all right. I'm not here to prove it to anybody else. I don't need to.
Well, you do.
No,
You
I don't.
really, well,
No, I
in a
don't.
sense of proof. All right, you've proved yourself to yourself. That's a fair enough point. I
That's the
understand
point.
that.
Okay, I have a relationship with him. It's a business relationship.
But
There is
Robert's
no.
not about business. You must know that Robert's not a businessman. So when you say you have a business relationship, in what degree with Robert Vandenbroek, as he is, do you have a business degree?
I'm not here to get in an esoteric conversation. I have a relationship with him. Okay, I was about to bring him into a very high level of my world. Okay, I cannot afford to have any question whatsoever about anything with him. Period. Now I do. Game over. Game over. Game over. I'm not going forward with him. I'm still his friend. I still care about him. Okay. I don't want to go public with this. I don't want to get out there, put it on my Facebook page. I've discovered Robert Vandenbroek is hoaxing, blah, 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 blah. Go to the crop circle community, go to all my friends in the crop. I'm not going to do that.
All right.
Okay.
Before you did Coast to Coast, did you meet with any of your Knights of Malta people?
It's Knights Templar, first
Knights
of all.
Templars, yeah. Did you meet with any of those?
And it's none of your business, first of all.
Well, I'm just trying to think of why you would completely change your tune and stance to the way that you initially talked to me about how you felt about Robert Vandenbroek.
Because I
Uh,
found out he's hoaxing, man.
But you haven't proven that, and I'm asking. You said you
That
proved to
we
yourself, and I understand that, respect
Did you
that
go
point.
did you go to your Johnny? Don't ramble, please.
No, I'm
Did you
not
go to your
rambling. I'm trying to find out, feel about how you're talking to me.
go to your messenger page, your Facebook
I've
messenger?
read it. I've read it. I've read all the details that you've
No, no, no. I
explained.
just sent you a couple new ones
Oh, okay. One sec.
just now. I made a special one just for you, Johnny.
What, the
little video.
photographs of Robert's face? Those ones?
No, one below. There's a little video there, Johnny.
Where are we looking at?
On Facebook Messenger. Johnny, don't turn this into a conspiracy. That's a joke. Don't insult me, and don't,
These are your words, not mine. This is coming out of your mouth. I'm just listening
why
and trying to
would-
establish what
bring up my-
your accusations are, what your beef,
make-
what your beef is. That's what I'm trying to establish.
My beef is that a guy I trusted for 16 years, I caught faking. That's my beef.
But you haven't. I've worked with Robert Vandenbroek for 2 years. I've never seen any fakery, and I'd like you to explain that to me.
I don't
You've
care
sent
what
me.
you've seen, man.
It doesn't
I
matter
know
what
I
you
saw.
care. Look, you're a very grumpy person at the moment, and I'm trying to establish what your beef is with Robert, because my understanding is you told me he's invited you out here to film him like a fly on the wall for a few months, that he's going to arrange all that, and then when you come, it's a completely different attitude, and I want to know what's changed.
Well, it's boy, are you ever thick-headed?
No, you've said to me, you've made an accusation against Robert. You haven't proved anything or shown me anything that I can validate and say, well, I believe you, because there's nothing you've shown me.
You asked me why I left. I told you why I left. I proved to myself.
But you haven't shown me any proof at all. I've just got your word, about what you're saying.
I've showed you enough, Johnny. Look at your
You showed me a photograph of a video. Sorry, you showed me a photograph of Robert that has got him pulling a funny face. You showed me a link to a video that you've got, that you've made. Let me just be clear about this. You've made a video with his...
Johnny, stop for a minute.
No, I want to make it clear. You've asked me to look at things, yeah?
Stop, man. I put it on your Facebook Messenger, not a link. I put a video on your Facebook Messenger. It's there on the Messenger, the clip. It's not a link. Okay, go to your Facebook page, go to Messenger. I just sent it to you. It's a clip. It's not a link.
Yeah, and that clip is supposed to show me what? This
shows Robert putting a photograph in front of the camera lens.
Right, so what does that prove for you? Let's be clear about Robert's photographs that are in public domain. None of his photographs are taken like what you're saying here.
I'm not talking about anything but this.
Show me how you got that stat out of a 1.5 second video. Just explain to me that.
What are you talking about? How I got what?
Well, what I've understood from your email is that you believe that in your editing of Robert's work, you found in a download link that from his phone to your computer, when you analyze this,
he's using my phone. It's my phone.
Okay, you've downloaded your own phone to your computer, and when you've gone through the 1.5 second clip that I assume is say 24 frames a second, there's 1.5 minutes or 2 seconds of it, so that gives us say 48 frames, and in 48 frames what you're saying is in between those frames you feel that Robert is holding something that's fake in front of the lens, and because there's 48 frames you can cut and paste from, you think that he's...
Have you looked at the thing I put on Messenger?
Well, I want to see the video that shows the whole thing, because what I see here is obviously clips of a link of different clips.
No.
Why would he do that in the middle of the night? What would be the relevance of that?
Johnny, have you looked at what I put on your on Facebook Messenger for you? Please do.
Yeah, I'm on it now.
Look at the video, the clip I just put there.
Yeah, I see a clip of a cut-out piece of paper of, say, the Mary. Okay, it's got a shiny front to it, so it's reflective. I see him in the night time. You're out somewhere. I understand it to be by this like tree. But what I see is a fake attempt at holding up an image of Mary, and someone's filming him holding that up, which I assume is you.
No, it was my phone.
Okay, well, it's your phone, and so he's holding it up to his chest, and he's filming in front of it.
He's holding the phone and the plastic cutout.
Where did the cutout come from?
You're doing pretty good, Johnny. That's what the video shows, man. It shows him holding a plastic image of an image of Mary in front of the lens, and the lens is in my camera.
Right, and you're standing next to him with this camera, yeah?
No, I was on the other. I was leaning up against the tree, half asleep. I was not watching what he was doing.
Okay, so and these instruments, in this case, a sort of a cutout of a Mary. You never see him have that before. You wasn't with him when he created that or anything like that.
Nope.
Okay, so you know nothing about that until you've got and edited it and noticed it in the screen. Is that right?
Well, I didn't edit it, Johnny. I downloaded it.
Yeah, but in that, having possession of it, somewhere you found that you can see these clips that don't
Yeah,
sort of match up to what.
that's correct.
Right. Is it only that small clip it that you've noticed it with, or have you noticed it with other things? Because apparently there's more than one apparition, isn't there? Was it just the Mary that he claimed a few days before
No,
this instrument?
no. All I'm talking about is what happened that night. It was 2 or 3 nights ago. I'm not addressing any other event.
Okay, so 2 or 3 nights ago, he's using your cell phone. He's taking pictures on it, and at some point, he's shown it back to you, and you've both seen an apparition of Mary. And at that point in time, you believe that to be a true another representation of Robert's phenomenon, and
Yeah,
thought it was real.
he didn't really show much back. It was late. We drove home.
But it was showing that something was happening while you're there, in that sense, for you.
Yeah, I mean, I saw on my phone in the photo section a bunch of still, icons that you see in a cell phone, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so I said, oh, well, you got some light ball UFOs, and you got Mary, right?
Mhm. And this has all happened while you're just like chilling out by the tree, not paying full attention to Robert, giving him his
Yeah,
belief of space and not hounding him. And you feel that in that time he's actually tried to fool you.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
very good.
Um, when you think back to the time that you stayed with him,
Uh-huh.
um, not years ago when you made a documentary, but the last time you were with him a few months back, did you
Uh-huh.
feel that there was anything untoward at that point in time that you stayed with him?
No,
Okay. So you were comfortable in how you felt 10 years ago. Then when you met him again, you were comfortable. But this time round, you felt uncomfortable. Did you feel uncomfortable, William, when you were in that
this
field
is
with
not.
him?
No, Johnny, I don't feel uncomfortable.
No. Did you feel any
I feel
sort
uncomfortable.
of clarity?
I feel certain that he hoaxed 2 nights ago, 3 nights ago. I'm
Yeah.
certain.
But did you feel that point in the field at the night, or only when you got back?
I felt I started to feel it as soon as I started to look at the video clips and realized what they showed. The video clips do not show what the representative still image of each shot is. Each shot shows the last frame of the video clip. And that's what he thought. That's what he saw. What they show you is the last frame, right? They don't show you the second and a half before the last frame. You have to push the image down on the phone to see it, to see the little video clip. Excuse me. So he didn't know he didn't know what he had. I didn't either until I started looking at it. So, what are you trying to get at, man?
So I'm trying to get, because I don't have an iPhone, but I do have my Samsung, and it does have a very similar ability, which is if you hold the button down on a photo shot, even though it's on photo and not camera, if you hold it, it will actually take hundreds of little shots that will make it look like a little movie. And I remember, Robert, doing that with my camera as well, but I didn't get anything in between those shots. And then I told him, if you do that, instead of just tap it rather than hold your finger on it, you'll get your tap tap
Let me
tap
ask you
tap.
something. Let me ask you
So
something. Let me
yeah,
ask you something, okay?
yeah,
You admit and you agree that what you see in the clip I left on your Facebook Messenger tonight shows him holding a cutout still image in front of the lens. Do you agree with that?
I do. Yes, I do.
Game,
But let me
game,
clarify something.
game over.
No, there's no game over, because
Game
let me
over for me.
clarify something. What
Game over
before
for
I
me,
spoke to
man.
you,
I'm
before I
done.
no, but hear me. You can't just half-heartedly cut me off. I'm trying to level with you.
Yeah,
What
over.
your game done doesn't sit like that for me, because I'm on the outside looking in. There's a difference, and the seat that I see comes from very early this afternoon. Robert contacted me and told me that you had asked him to make a video for skeptical people using the
Lie.
skept. What? Just hear me.
Lie.
Just hear
It's
me.
a lie.
Look,
It's a
just
lie.
but just hear me. I want
I
to
don't want
show
to hear
you
you.
what's going on, so
I
you
don't
have a
want to
full
hear you, man.
understanding.
It's a lie.
Robert, look, William, I'm not against you. I'm trying to establish something. That's all.
I don't care whether you're against me or not,
It
man.
doesn't matter. No, look, it doesn't
Give
bother
a
me
shit.
either. You know what I mean? But I'm only
This
trying to
little game is
establish
over,
something.
Johnny. The game's over. Game
It's a
over.
game over for you, from what I understand,
Right.
from what I've been
That's right,
told.
Johnny.
So
Game
I
over
want you
for
to
me.
get the chance to understand what I know before I make my assumption.
You're on your own,
It
man.
doesn't matter.
You're
I
on your
want
own.
you to understand so that you know. Okay. Now, at 12 o'clock this afternoon, I get a phone call from Robert, and he says to me, I've had to kick William away from me and keep him
Lie.
alive. Well,
You're
no, but
not
look,
saying I
it's not
lie.
me. Just hear what's being
Lie.
said.
The lie.
Yeah, but I want you to hear it, because the lie, I want you to hear what the lie is then you can
I don't
act
give
on
a
that
shit
lie.
about lie.
But the point is I want you to hear it, because I've heard what you're trying to say, and I want to give you an opportunity to feedback what I'm saying. So what
The
he says,
lie.
all right, let's establish that from your basis, everything that's going to come out from Robert Vandenbroek telling me is a lie. I accept that.
Not everything.
But
No,
I want,
not everything.
okay, well, in that part
I
then,
didn't say that.
well, you're just saying it's a lie, and you're not letting me actually say what I need to tell you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So at 12 o'clock, Robert Vandenbroek rings me, and he says, John, I've had to separate myself from William. I've told him that I no longer want to work with him. I've spoke to my high consciousness, and it's telling me to keep away from him. I said, what do you mean? What's happening? He said, well, I hadn't seen him for a few days. When he did come around, he was depressed, and he was happy. He was moody and unsociable and shouted and groggy.
That's a lie. That's such a lie.
Okay. Then he says that he asked me that skeptics that he's spoken to in the past and from other times have asked him to ask you, Robert, if you can reenact what you do as a skeptic in this case. So we're going to cut out some images of things, and we want you as a skeptic behavior. What they're asking is to put
Lie.
these things in front of the lenses,
Lie.
and
Lie.
and he says that you asked him to do that, and he did that
Lie.
for you, and he says he
Lie.
can't believe that you've now
Lie.
used that against him, because he won't
Lie.
pay you
A lie,
$45,000.
Johnny. It's all a lie, man.
But let's be clear now, he says that he paid a quite considerable sum to you about 10 years ago when you came
He
over,
didn't pay
and
me
you've
anything.
told me that
Never
no,
paid
he
me
never.
a dime. Never paid me a penny.
And
Never.
you paid 10 grand of your own money, you
That's
told
right.
me.
You bet it's right.
Right, that's interesting, because these are the arguments that are going to come out, but I want to hold your truth, and I want to
Lie.
hold what you're
It's a
saying.
fucking lie, man. It's my money.
Right, so you paid 10 grand, and him and Stan have never paid you a penny for coming to Europe in any time. Is that correct?
Until
Until you told
yeah.
me he gave you $1,500.
$1,500. That's right.
So before today's $1,500, every time you've ever gone to see him, you've spent your own money doing it, and he's never paid anything, or Stan has never paid anything.
That's right.
So their claim, and it is their claim, they claim that you've had about 30 to 40 grand off of them. Are they both lying about that?
I don't know anything about the both. Now you brought Stan into this.
Yes, because Stan is the financer regarding Robert Vandenbroek, and it's Robert Vandenbroek.
Where does this come from?
Well, it comes from an argument before you ever come to his country this second time round of this year, was that they were worried that you were going to come with no money and start asking them for money, because they felt in the past that you'd come and ask them for money and took quite a considerable amount out of them and didn't produce or give them what you told them you would do.
I never got a penny from him, man. I never got a penny. Never a penny. Ever.
Right, that's clear. That's clear. You're telling it. So I hear what you're saying. So
you should look at some of the stuff online, man. These guys have been going at this a long time. You know, there's been some shit researched on them that is not fun to read. Okay? They are devious.
And did you know that coming out to meet them when you came out this time round?
No, I've only learned it in the last couple of days. It's all new for me. Let me get you a link. I'll get you a link, Johnny. You can take a look. You can take a look yourself. They made us. They're good, man. They're listen. Robert's a good hoaxer, man. This guy knows what the fuck he's doing. Okay. And all this lies, all this whole scenario that they've made up, very well constructed, very well, conceived, and fast too.
Did you ever ask them for money?
You know all the. We've already gone through all this. You know the whole story. Robert brought it up that Stan could pay for me to come out. Right after I hooked up with him again via your introduction.
Okay.
He is the one that said Stan could do it. We've already gone through all these the iteration of the whole scenario. So, and I've answered your questions.
All right.
What exactly do you need to know, Johnny?
Well, I need to know another motive for bringing out this to bring Robert Vandenbroek down, other than he didn't pay you what you asked and you're grumbled to do that to him. So that's what public would think. What do you feel about it?
You're putting stuff into my mouth.
It's called disgruntled. You're disgruntled.
I came home. I came here. I didn't say a fucking word. I was not disgruntled at all, man. What are you talking about?
Well, no, I'm saying with the future, the past situation where you two are not talking, he's not happy with you, you're not happy with him. That
The only thing that
you've
I'm
now
unhappy
produced
with,
produced a
listen,
document,
buddy,
a video
listen,
that is
listen,
against Robert Vanderbroek, not in his
listen to
favour
me,
of working for him.
Johnny. Shut the fuck up and listen to me.
No, don't talk to
The
me
thing I'm
like some
unhappy with,
cretin. I ain't a cretin.
the
I'm
thing
a
I'm
bit more
unhappy
established
with,
than you
Johnny,
think.
Johnny. The only thing I'm unhappy with is the fact that he hoaxed. That's the only thing. Okay. Everything else is fine. Stan gave me $1,500. I'm fine. I am broke. You have no idea what it took for me to get here.
But that's not his problem, is it?
No, it's not at all. Stan, however, making promises and then reneging is my problem. Okay? Because 2 times Stan said, I'll give you the money. The second time, you should have heard this guy.
Did you record it?
I didn't do it. I'm sorry. I'm this and that. This time it's going to work. Will you do it for 15,000? Yes, I will. Okay, I'll send everything, man. This guy, fucking,
Did you record that conversation he made with you? I mean, you're a businessman. I mean, that's what people do, isn't it?
You don't record people you trust.
Look, Robert trusted you, and you recorded him doing something dodgy. You're saying, how do we say that?
Come on, Johnny. Johnny, you're really reaching now, man.
No, I'm not trying to reach. I'm just trying to
All
establish.
all I did was give him my phone, man. That's all I did. Here, use my phone. He asked for it. Let me use your phone.
Yeah, so you're sitting there by the tree, he's using your phone, he's pulling out these sort of fake pictures and putting it in front of himself and the camera and taking shots and hoping that there's going to be a decent picture within that he thinks that you won't know that within that 1.5 second, the end frame is the only one that gets shown, that he would know about it. I don't think he knows about that shit. He doesn't have the kind of phone that you have. He has a Galaxy phone.
Okay.
He doesn't have that software, although my phone does have that, but it's a version 7 Edge. What I'm trying to say is that I don't think that he's a phone geek that would know about software the same way that you seem to say that he does.
He didn't know what I was going to. He didn't know what was on the phone, Johnny. That's what I'm trying to get across to you.
I would like to show me, put that phone to the camera here and play that scene where it won't show it, but then I want you to slow it down and show it to me if you can. Just to show me that this is what you see on the phone, and as an editor, you know what you're fucking looking at, and this is bullshit. So I'd like to see that, from your point of view. Because obviously at some point, you're going to make a statement, he's going to get into trouble, or he's going to make a statement, you're going to get into trouble. It's going to be a big argument on the air.
I'm out of this, okay? I'm not going to get into this. It's not worth my time, man. Robert Vanderbroek's an unknown. He's nobody, man. Do you understand? He's a small-time hoaxer in Southern Holland.
But William, I'm not being funny, mate. I don't know you from Adam either, and I'm an Englishman.
A lot of people in this world.
And I'm not trying to say that to belittle you or anything. I mean it sincerely, my friend. I didn't know you were. I've done a research. I can see WikiLeaks. I can see these names come up. I've seen you in the past. You've done something. I know your Emmy Award for down there in Waco. Great, brilliant documentary. I really enjoyed that. But it's a fucking long time ago. Let's have a look. Go on.
And now, by the way, I sent you a link. Do you see the link I sent you on Facebook Messenger? Do you see that link below the video clip?
Let's have a look. What's that?
It's below the video clip. I just sent it to you.
It's not coming out. I can see your video, but I can't see this chat that you're sending me.
I'm not sending you a chat. I sent you a link.
But in the Skype chat?
No, not in the Skype. The Facebook Messenger.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay, stand by. So, Constantine, yeah. Go on, what's the deal here?
This is more information on Robert going back 15 years.
This is a girl that used to fancy Robert and flood him with emails and love letters and all these things who he's
Look,
rejected and who's made an opposition to him. Let's be clear about what you're saying.
Johnny, if you want more information, it's there for you. Make your own choice.
This is a lone person that has her own personal thing with him. You know, she has her own
Doesn't
grudge.
matter,
She's
Johnny.
entitled to do that. That's the freedom
I
of
don't
speech.
care, Johnny.
But
It's an
what
opportunity.
you're saying to me is that you've been really hurt by Robert and you want to fucking
No,
rub
it's
the shit
not.
in and rub the mud in and
No,
whatever it is you're trying to
Johnny,
do, Rob. You know,
Johnny,
like you
don't-
say, you have no conscious understanding of Robert because you're not that way inclined. You're a businessman. So I understand your understanding and where you come
Johnny,
from.
we're almost
You're
done with
far
this.
removed
Johnny, this
from
is what I
Robert's
said in my
understanding,
phone.
and that's what I tell you, you know, and I
Johnny,
told you that before you ever came near him, you know, that
Oh.
you don't understand, and that's the difference, you know. You're not of that higher intellect spiritually. You may be physically, mentally, but in your spirit, you're very lacking in that sense.
Johnny,
And
good
that,
luck. Good luck, Johnny.
all right,
Okay.
mate. Well, thank you for your explanation, but you're full of shit, and you can try and blackmail people as much as you like. You're a cunt.
Blackmail.
You know? You're a cunt.
Blackmail.
Bye bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
And that's William Gazecki.